Hey, good morning, everybody. It's been quite a while since you've heard from me. My wife had some pretty serious health issues with her heart. Seems like we're going the right direction, and that is an enormous blessing from from, from our Heavenly Father. We're sweating this out, but she's doing really good. So let's talk about maybe we can get some blessings here going forward. Second quarter is not doing well, has not done well. January, February, March was pretty good, but boy, second quarter, April, May, June, we got nailed with a new COVID for this year called inflation. And I know that everybody knows about this. Now, I'm not going to try to get into any politics. I'm trying to stay clear of that as much as I can. But let's talk about these subjects. Why did the second quarter 2022 miss the mark of our expectations? And you got to admit, we had high expectations coming into this year because 2021 was so good. How can we repair the declines of second quarter? That's a biggie too. What can we expect from fourth quarter? Because right now we're in the middle of third and fourth quarter is coming up. And then also what will happen in peak 2023. So the great prognosticator here, I will tell you what I think is going to happen in fourth quarter and also in peak of 2023. But there are some things to maximize that we're going to have to do. So first of all, let's go a little post-mortem on second quarter. What the heck happened? Well, the USA Economics and the Department of Labor stats are something that we have to look at because it's pretty crazy right now. I've been doing this for 31 years, and of course, I thought I'd never seen a year like 2021. It was such a fantastic year, but the stuff that we're facing right now is just crazy. It's the hiring people, it's the economics of inflation. So let's go through some of those specifics. It is a crush of a runaway inflation. Gas prices up 48. When you're watching this, you all know what I'm talking about. So I'm not giving you anything new, but it's food up and payroll. Payroll is going up, and it asks the question, what is the cost now? What is it going to cost you for good employees? And look at the important thing is good employees, because in the middle of inflation, if people want an escape, and we have a relatively inexpensive, indulgent product and service to give them, what do you do about pricing? Should you raise your prices because prices have come up in every other place? Just hold on to that thought. So to couple that with the inflation is what's going on with employees. In general, over the country, their real wages are down 3.4% from 2021, meaning that yes, their wages may be up, but inflation offsets that, and in addition, another 3.4%. So employees know that they're losing money. They may not know the specific, percentage, but they know that their real wages, the net wages that they can spend for their rent or their car insurance or whatever is down. Here's one that's kind of crazy. There are now 1.8 million small business job openings. There's many more job openings than that. I think it's almost 10 million that are open, but 1.8 million small business job openings. Now, this is a key. Look at that number. These are employers of fewer than 10 employees. Now, if you have a chain of tanning salons, you wouldn't fall into that category. You would still, though, fall into the category where there's some 10 million job openings. It's just that this I found from the Department of Labor to be pretty compelling. If you have a single salon, and what we're going to talk about today is not just single salons, but if you have a single salon of less than 10 employees, there's 1.8 million job openings. And it seems like there are people that just don't want to work anymore. 4.3 million employees quit their jobs since COVID. 4.3 million quit their jobs. That has had a huge impact on turnover in all retail sectors, but particularly in tanning. What we have is this generation of this COVID generation that now wants to dip their toe maybe in other jobs. And so their value of any one job has diminished quite a bit. well, I don't want to work at a tanning salon anymore. I want to be a barista, or I want to do this. I want to do maybe I want to sell cars or something. It's crazy, but they're more than a little bit flaky right now. So 4.3 million quit their jobs, huge impact, turnover cost, customer service, and of course in our business, we are all about customer service. We're face to face business. And when a customer comes in and it's a new face every time they come in, it absolutely depletes the perceived value of what we offer and what people will spend. And it's not the salon's fault. It's not you as an owner's fault. It is the inflation that's raising the costs for everybody, taking away some of their discretionary income. And it's also because of the post-COVID situation. Employees are just not as reliable as they used to be. So what can we expect from the fourth quarter of 2022? I believe it'll be a recovery. It'll be a slow recovery. Uh, and I'll tell you some reasons for that too, because the midterm elections are critical. Many folks, I don't want to get into politics, many folks want changes from current administration policies. That happens to be my opinion, but it also is the opinion of the national pollsters. So many people want change from current administration policies that we feel affect the inflation. But by late October, I believe consumer confidence should start to improve. I think by late October, the die will be cast on what is going to happen with the midterm elections. And it's going to start to give people confidence that things will change. And I think that you'll start to see spending go up, particularly as you're getting to that last week where you've got Halloween, and we can sell tans for Halloweens and whatever, which we do every year. But I would strongly recommend don't forget September, even though it's part of third quarter. I'd plan now for September, which could be a spike for back to school. As kids are back to school, maybe mom will spend some money on that discretionary budget that she's got to have this mental martini. It's what I like to call tanning. It's a mental martini to get away from all the insanity. But plan it from September through Black Friday week in November. So incorporated in that, of course, is back to school, but it's also Halloween that I mentioned earlier. But the Black Friday week in November, by the time we get to Black Friday week in November, the elections will be done, and confidence, if it goes the way that the pollsters are saying it's going to go, confidence in the economy should start strongly rebounding. And I think I see a pretty decent fourth quarter. It's not going to be as strong as fourth quarter 2021, I don't think, unless the confidence rebounds so greatly that people now are ready to come out of their discretionary income shell and really start spending money because they're feeling more confident the way things are going. What I would say right now, I would be looking at a BOGO. I really would be looking at a BOGO, but with expirations. So if here in August, if you sell a 30-day BOGO, buy a 30-day, get 30-day free, put an expiration on it, is that I would put it as a running 60 days that they've paid for. So they buy in August, it's done, the first couple of weeks of October. Then that doesn't affect your late October Halloween business, and certainly doesn't go into effect your November Black Friday week. And the other thing too, may I suggest that we get away from the Pink Wednesday week approach to that Thanksgiving week calendar. Pink Wednesday was a great promotion for October, which is National Breast Cancer Month. It gets people confused when they're hearing for November Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, Black Friday, which is the biggest retail week of the year. It confuses them when you start talking about Pink Wednesday. Just my opinion, and I do this hundreds of times. So just a thought: if you want to do a Pink Wednesday or a Pink Week, call it Pink Week in October. That wouldn't be a bad idea. That's when breast cancer is. There's more awareness of it now. So on the BOGO, be careful not to show a 30-day BOGO price where you sell them two 30-day packages. Make sure that price on that is not lower than your current below your current EFT monthly pricing, because then somebody might say, well, I'll drop my EFT and I'll just buy this BOGO. But it'll still be cheaper than if they buy a single 30-day. What you want to do is show them 2 30 days, where when they do the math, they find out that that's cheaper buying that than buying a single 30-day. Now, you're saying, well, why would I not want to just sell a 30-day twice? Well, because you don't have an abundance of traffic right now. If you're on your marketing, whether it's on your Facebook or your email, your text, or whatever, if you can sell a BOGO program, buy 30-day, get 30-day free, you're going to collect some money. And right now, everybody could use some cash, because it's been a little brutal here for a second and into third quarter. So you wanted some cash, but you put an expiration on it so it doesn't hurt your your future business into fourth quarter. Okay, so what can we expect? What can we expect from fourth quarter 22 moving on? What you're going to have to expect is that your employees are going to be an issue, and it's every day that I get a call. Everybody's wondering what to do about their employees. This is a real funky time for us in this business, because now employees, think that they should be getting paid so much more, and again, they're flaky to begin with, usually in that 18 to 24 range, but there's flaky people that are older too. But here's the thing you have to face in terms of your employees. Your best workers, you want to lure them back with the message: we have a superior working experience. And we do, don't we? I mean, really, you could go work at Amazon, you could go work a lot of places and make more money than what we're paying, but what our work experience is much more positive. And so we want to lure them back with that message on your Facebook, on your text messages. We have a superior working experience, and we do. You want to advertise all of your salon's working benefits, not just free tanning, but that this is a fun job. It's a job that will help you learn to develop your sales skills. It's a job with a lot of repeat buyers. It's a job that you can make some great commissions and bonuses, commissions on lotions and bonuses on selling EFTs. So you've got to stay on Facebook, text, and email and talk it up. Also, we offer more than just free reinforcement or free tanning. We offer reinforcement. What I mean by reinforcement is that if you think now, this generation they all want their 15 seconds of fame, not 15 minutes. That's why Facebook and TikTok, and you got this generation that's spending all their time on the internet. They're saying some in some cases not particularly brainy things, but they're looking for people to react to them. So it's kind of like dumbass now has hit the internet, and people are saying, I went to the store to buy a jar of pickles. They're just looking for people to reinforce them. Well, really, shouldn't we really offer them reinforcement? Now, I'm not saying that we turn your salon into soccer trophies where we're giving them something for just showing up, but where reinforcement's important, particularly with what we want them to do, is we want them to sell. And so if I were an owner or I were a manager, I would be looking at those numbers from the previous shifts that these people ran, and I would make sure that somebody knows that I saw that they sold a $130 bottle of black, and hey, great job. So if you're going to give out kudos, these great job comments, make sure they're on something that's measurable, like what they sold or what their average, their PSA is right now, their LPPSA is, or whatever, or sold a particular EFT package. You should always have in the back of your mind, what are my employees doing? What can I reinforce them? Real reinforcement, not just, oh, thank you for showing up, which is what soccer trophies are all about. So reinforcement, again, I'm saying this because psychologically, That's why a lot of these people are on the internet all the time. They want to be reinforced. They want to feel that there's something about them that's valuable. We as employers need to give them that, but it needs to be measurable stuff. So, we're not just talking about the way they part the hair. Although, if they do come to work properly attired, dress code and appearance code, hair done, makeup, whatever, they look great. That's, compliments, real compliments work. Okay. And we want to provide real advancement opportunities. If you haven't gone into some of my YouTube videos where we talk about that, where we show even on a single store basis that you can start at this level and you can get promoted from, say, a sales associate 1 to a sales associate 2, and you can show that they'll get another 50 or 75 cents an hour or whatever. These people may be frustrating from our point of view because of what may appear to be lack of work ethics or work values, I should say. But they still want to feel that they're making some kind of progress in any work situation that they work in. Unless, of course, it's just money, then they're going to go work for Amazon or someplace else. And if it's just money, but we don't want people that are just looking for money. We want people that want good wages, good compensation with incentives, but that also want a good environment to work in. And of course, it never hurts to talk about free tanning. So we want to provide real advancement opportunities, show them that they can move from one position up to the next, even if you've only got 5 employees and one of them is a manager and you've got a couple of that are new employees. You start them off as a sales associate 1. When they prove to you that they can do what they're supposed to do, that's usually by looking at their numbers and their attendance and their attitude and their interaction with customers, blah, blah, blah. And you promote them 90 days after they started with another 75 cents an hour. That's what they want to be reinforced that way. And advancement is a great reinforcement. Okay. Now, here's the thing. We have to face the fact, people, that, and I just know this to be true. I think that too many salon owners don't spend enough time with their employees finding out who and what they are, what are their passions, because what's important to one employee may not be important to another. Some good people come to work for us, not necessarily for what we're paying, but that would be a nice thing if they did, because that's what we want, is selling and commissions off of that. But they're there for other reasons. And what are those other reasons? If you don't know what your employees' passions are, it's hard for you to stay ahead of them and stay ahead of that motivational curve. So I found that over the years, I always have to know who my employees are and what makes them get up in the morning. Now, so where do I start is the question. And you have to accept that excellent employees are already working. I mean, the really, really good ones that have good work values, good work ethics, they're already working. We have to go out and get them through our marketing. We have to market that we're a great place to work. So they're already working. Now, will payroll go up? Yeah, payroll is going to go up. But what's your alternative? If someone said, no, I only spend 25% of my payroll, and that, by the way, don't take that number as some kind of gospel, because everybody has different payroll numbers. But if you said, I only spent this amount on payroll as a percent of my income in 2021, and that's probably not a fair comparison, because 2021 was a great year. And when you have a great year and you got booming sales, you can amortize those payroll dollars over all of those sales, and your percentage probably dropped. But in 2022, it's a funky year. So trying to get those excellent employees, it's probably going to cost you more money. We just have to settle into that everything is going up. Your cost of lamps, your cost of equipment, your cost of distributed lotions, your power, and everything's going up. But we can't stop and say, I'm not going to spend more money on payroll, because that's a fool's game. Because we do have these people out there right now that think that if I'm going to go to work as a manager, I better get $14 or $15 an hour or more, depending upon the market. I had a customer up to a month ago that was still hiring new associates in at $9.50 an hour, and I would tell you that it's just you're not going to get anybody with great work ethics and great work values at that. So your payroll is going to go up. And what's your alternative? Your alternative is to try to hire people at cheaper wages. They'll come in, they'll work for a month, and they'll be gone. So you have to provide more incentives on selling. Incentives for selling memberships and selling lotions. A client the other day said, "Well, I've been paying 5% on my commissions." 5% is not a good number. 10% is a much better number because it's a number that most of these young people that don't have great math background, they can still figure out what 10% is. Don't put any minimums that they have to sell before they start getting paid their commissions or their bonuses on EFTs. Don't do that. You want your employees to stand at the counter with every person that comes in. They look at that person as a dollar sign. You don't want them thinking, oh, have I met my minimum? Don't do that. If they're not meeting their minimums, you pay them the commissions anyway. But if they're not meeting the minimums, that's a management function. You sit down and you say, look at your PSA as at $1.25, and we really need to work on that. Here's how I'll help you. I'll have you work with another employee that's really high on their PSA. So by putting a minimum, say, oh, they've got to hit at least $1.50 before I start to pay them. Don't do that. You'll just frustrate people. Remember now, we're kind of on eggshells with good employees right now. We need to be the employer of choice. And so putting roadblocks in the way, I want when someone comes to the counter, I want the employee saying, I can sell this person another lotion. I can sell them a higher package of tanning. I can sell them some other things that we've got going on here. So you have to provide more incentives on selling. They're going to be higher starting hourly wages. When you go out and you run your ads, what I usually say, look at if your starting wage for a new associate, excuse me, is say $11. I'm just throwing out a number. I would put in your ad, you could say you can earn in excess of $14 an hour. Earn in excess of $14 an hour. The difference between the 11 and the 14 is what they'll make in commissions or bonuses. So what you're doing with it, where you say you can earn in excess of 14, is drawing people in. You're throwing better bait out there to land some of those excellent employees. Because remember, they're currently working. So you got to do this through all your internet marketing. Consider retention bonuses. Now, this is going to sound crazy, but just think about this. You get into fourth quarter. Let's say we get into November, and you've got 2 or 3 of your employees. You've got 2 or 3 that are real killers, not serial, but I mean a really good salesperson, people, and they're good employees. You've got a peak season coming up in 2023. So what more and more of my clients are doing is offering retention bonuses. You're saying to these good people, really appreciate what you're doing. It's going to be a big peak season, because I really do believe this peak season 2023 is going to be good. We'll be past a lot of the political baloney. I think confidence in consumers will have gone back up. And so with a great 2023 peak season, you don't want to be losing your key employees. That is an absolute killer. Let's say you get a couple real crackerjacks in the middle of March, they decide to go dig water wells in Egypt. I don't know, whatever, they leave. Retention bonuses are, you say to them, this is in November, December, you're doing a great job, and we go all the way through our peak season, all the way, and you can shorten it, lengthen it, whatever. By June 1st, if everything that I see is doing well with you, you know, you're making great progress, and you want to give them some guidelines on what great progress and good performance is. I'm going to throw another $750 your way June 1st. So somebody on this call right now watching the old man here saying $750, divide it by the number of hours they would be working between November, December, and June. And it's a pittance. It's like another $1, $1.50 an hour assuming they're working 20 hours a week. I would much rather give them that 750 at the end, toward the end of the peak season, than lose them. Maybe the 750 won't keep them, but it does give them a bonus for sticking around. Now, we're not saying to them, I want you to keep working for me and I'll give you another 750. What you're saying is performance is great and your LPA is at this number and your EFTs are at this number, whatever. I'm going to give you another 750 June 1st. Maybe they'll get that 750 and they'll leave June 4th. I don't know, but at least it'll ensure that maybe some of those good people will stay with you. Now, if some of the people that aren't so good hear about this bonus, you know, and they come to you and say, well, I want to be on that program as well. That gives you the opportunity to sit down with them and say, well, I'm glad that you brought this up to me because here are some things I think that we need to work together on for you to be better at what you're doing. It forces kind of performance evaluations at that moment. And if they don't like that and they leave, well, they were going to leave you anyway. So retention bonuses are a strong possibility. Another one is a sign-up bonus for the best candidates. So sometimes we go and we run an ad and we talk about, free tanning, great working experience, and competitive wages you can earn in excess of this and that, whatever. But we also consider sign-up bonuses. We will give you a $500 sign-up bonus. Now, we don't give it to them the day they walk in the door. We give it to them at 90 days. It gives you the opportunity at 78 days to say, this just isn't working out. But you tell them that when they start, if everything's wonderful at the end of 90 days, I'm going to give you 500 bucks. But you can use the concept of sign-up bonuses in your ads. It draws people in. Look around you at retail. I mean, everybody is offering sign-up bonuses. It's crazy. So you got to be competitive because remember, these excellent employees, they're looking for that kind of thing to draw them away from the current job that they're in. And then, do I raise prices is your question you're going to ask. Yes, John, you want to spend more money. I don't want to spend more money. The pressure of what excellent employees want is spending more money. We can do it and accept that our percent to payroll is going to go up, or we can put our head in the sand and turn our salon into a revolving door of worthless employees that come in for a month to get free tanning and then leave us to be working 6 other places. So do you raise prices? Yes or no? So there's a big temptation to raise prices because everything else is going up. And you say, it's only fair, John, I need to raise prices. Gas is going up, food's going up, my rent is going up, the cost of my lamps, whatever. Yes, it is true. It's going up. But on the other hand, you've got a problem right now where people are squeezing down their discretionary income for indulgent type services. I don't know that I would raise prices right now. I think I would raise my prices probably in fourth quarter. Fourth quarter where some consumer confidence is coming back, people are spending more, they're feeling better about spending more, then I'd raise my prices and get them ready for peak 2023. I don't think I would do it now. I think I would keep my prices down. And by the way, that's something I would advertise too. You can say everyone's raising their prices here at Wonder Tan. We're keeping our prices the same they were because we recognize your pain. But, it works. It works. People will see that you're trying to help them out. And you got to remember that we have enormous margins on UV tanning. If we don't raise our prices and we just get the traffic back in the store, that's a key. And that's the next thing I want to talk about is this point here. Traffic equals sales. I talked about BOGO before. You do a BOGO because it gives you some instant cash, but you get people back in the door. And this says there's no greater truism than this. You can have all the fancy equipment in the world, blah, 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 but no feet in the door, no sales. So you need to market like crazy and don't give up because we've got a big future ahead of us here. I think we're going to do pretty good in fourth quarter. I think the 2023 peak season is going to be very, very good. So but just got to market like crazy, and market like crazy not only on what it is that you offer, um, as far as for the tanning services, but market like crazy for employees. Please do yourself a favor. If you have 5 or 6 employees in that single store, or if you have a chain, and I have a couple chains that I work with, and what always scares me is people will say to me, "Oh, we're cool now. I've got enough people now. I think I can make it through." Which, by the way, I haven't heard that for a while because nobody's feeling that. But when you should worry is if you have 5 employees and you've got 5, and you think they're pretty good. That's when you should worry, because the way this current generation of workers is going, yeah, something's going to happen. And in the next month, you're whatever, somebody falls in love and leaves, or whatever it is, or decides they want to get out of tanning and go to school to be a welder. Who knows what's going to happen? When your staff is full, keep recruiting. You never know. A gem could come through and interview with you that you get through talking to them and you say, I think this might be better than the person at the bottom of my performance totem pole. And maybe I should give this person a shot. So never, ever stop recruiting. So you can see I've been doing this for so long and I've been through these ups and downs. Am I the #1 tanning salon analyst? There's no doubt in my mind. I've analyzed for more than 600 owners. That was over 2,500 salons. I do this all the time. I mean, I don't think I know anybody that knows the numbers as well as I do. So brag, 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 brag. Yes, I do. I know about that. You can see some of the bragging on there. So you need help, get a free consultation. That's all it is. No cost. Part of it is I love talking to people. I love people, helping people in this industry. So you can get your free consultation, www.johnrfr.com, or call my cell phone. I'm wide open. And right now, my workload with clients is light enough that I can take on more. As we get to fourth quarter, it's going to go bonkers. Hey, thanks for listening to me. This is a longer video than I normally do. But like I said, I had to work through some health issues with my wife, and I hope that all of you are healthy and blessed like we are. Hey, thanks for listening. Hope I hear from you soon. Bye-bye.